welcome back to Steady Rolling Man Presents The Masked Nyarlathotep. We hope you had a great break. Just to recap, last time we formulated a potentially crazy plan over some whiskies. Now it's time to enact that plan. Were we crazy or were we correct? Let's find out. Pass over to our Keeper of Secrets.
Okay, so last session, Jacob and Stanton ventured to Miles Shipley's house in Holby Mews, a foreboding location near Sloane Square, where they were greeted by Bertha Shipley, Miles's white-haired mother, whose kind demeanour and slight senility were noteworthy. The stifling heat of the house and a strange cloying odour only added to the unease. After a wait during which Miles met with none other than the renowned occultist Algernon Blackwood, Jacob and Stanton were ushered into Miles Shipley's garret studio. There they beheld Shipley's collection of paintings, disturbing, grotesque, and steeped in an otherworldly malevolence. Feigning interest, they then departed with polite assurances that they would be in touch. As Jacob stepped nervously into the thick London fog, the memory of his ordeal outside the Blue Pyramid Club the previous night weighed heavily upon him, a spectre of unresolved dread. Meanwhile, Lex and Douglas undertook a stakeout at the Penhew Foundation, observing its evening activities. Their vigilance paid off when they witnessed a lorry marked with the name Ferris & Sons arrive at the back gate. Men loaded a heavy casket-sized object into the vehicle, along with smaller crates, before the lorry disappeared into the night, leaving more questions than answers. Back at Brown's Hotel, the group convened over Whisky to share their findings and puzzle out the implications. Theories took a sinister turn, with the unsettling conclusion that Bertha Shipley might be far more than the sweet, senile old woman she appeared to be. Plans were laid, a return to Holby Mews the next day, and under the cover of night, a daring infiltration of the Penhew Foundation to uncover its secrets. As the clock struck midnight, you retired to your rooms, the weight of the unknown heavy on your minds. Okay, that's a recap of last week. We will rejoin your adventures the following day, which is actually Saturday the 14th of February 1925. You are sat in the restaurant of the Brown, having your breakfast, Brown's Hotel. Just bear with me a second. Outside, you glance outside and you see that the morning is frosty, cold. The frosty February morning clings to Albemarle Street like a thin veil. The cold is palpable even from the window of the elegant dining room at your hotel. You see that outside a silver mist hangs in the air. Iron railings are slick with frost, glinting faintly under the pale winter sun. A horse-drawn cart clatters by, the sound of hooves echoing sharply in the crisp air. You also hear a motor car sputtering in the distance. Pedestrians hurry along, collars turned up and their hands shoved deep into their pockets, breaths forming fleeting clouds that dissolve as quickly as they appear. The street lamps, though unlit, still bear the traces of last night's gaslight glow, their frosted glass bulbs catching the diffused daylight. You see a pair of smartly dressed gentlemen pause to exchange pleasantries beneath one of the lamps, their top hats slightly dusted with the remnants of a brief morning flurry. And across the street, a flower seller huddled by her cart, her blooms slightly wilted from the cold, though a cluster of violets adds a splash of colour to the muted scene. Inside the restaurant at Brown's Hotel, the atmosphere is warm and refined, a stark contrast to the icy streets of the outside. The dining room is a picture of Edwardian elegance, though subtle hints of modernity are beginning to creep in. Tall windows frame the frosted view of the street, that the drapes are heavy and pulled back to reveal the pale morning light. Tables are set with gleaming silverware and porcelain china, each place setting meticulously arranged. The soft chime of teaspoons against saucers punctuates a low hum of conversation, as well-dressed patrons murmur over copies of the Times and the Telegraph. The rustle of newspapers mingles with the occasional tinkling laugh or muffled call of a waiter. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee and warm toast wafts through the room. Okay, so there you are in the hotel restaurant. You may plan away to your heart's content.
Should we... Well, we need to get back into the house, obviously, don't we? So we've got to get past the front door. Should we? She's bound to answer the door rather than Shipley. Should we
Well,
tell her that Shipley asked us to come back?
well, you did say, didn't you, that you were going to consider whether or not to buy some of his artworks. You could come back, and you say that myself, well, that I'm somebody that you were going to sell to, and I've come to look at the paintings as well to agree a price, and that because I'm so rich and well-to-do, Lex is my security, which should get us in.
Yeah. So priority one is to get in, and then
Yep.
when we are in, is the intention is to hopefully provoke her into
Revealing
revealing
her form.
herself.
Yeah.
Can we try and? I mean, ideally, it would be helpful, I think, if we can get her to go and make some tea and then switch off all the heaters and throw all the doors and windows open for a little while, just to. Yeah, I mean, if that is going to, if we can get it cooled down, she'll slow down a bit if she really is.
How quickly does a lizard need? Would a lizard cool down?
Well, maybe not, but also it will provoke her as well. So
Yeah, definitely have the.
Yeah, ask her for a cup of tea, and then while she's out, open all the windows and things. Oh, I hope don't mind. We've opened everything and see how she reacts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we are going to have to wind her up spectacularly if she's going to reveal herself. I guess we're going to have to play that.
Just got to be absolutely on our toes, and remember that this pretty much entire plan is based on making her want to kill us. That's where we're going. Let's not pussyfoot around this. We want to wind her up so much that she will reveal herself. And if she reveals herself, she will want to kill us.
Well, I mean, on that basis, why do we even try to wind her? We're basing this on our belief that she is some form of unnatural lizard creature in the form of an old lady. We could actually just say, you're a lizard creature. We recognise you from your son's paintings, and we recognise the habitat that you've created here. We're going to reveal you to the world,
and perhaps tell her that we're going to free Miles Shipley as well, because we think that he's being effectively held captive by her.
That'll work.
I mean, at that point, she's going to have to try and kill us. So we're going to tell everyone, we're going to tell the papers, and there's nothing you can do to stop us, and we're here to gather all the evidence that we can. You can come quietly or not. I think that would probably do it.
Yep, we'll see. But yeah. Okay. And
failing that, we'll have Lex punch her.
Yeah. Okay, it's a plan. I think we're going to have to play it by ear a little bit.
Use the term plan loosely.
Oh yeah, well, we can't guarantee everything's going to go, one thing after the other in the way we hope, can we? So
yeah. Well, I suppose we also don't actually need to plan winding her up, because obviously that's Stanton's speciality. He doesn't even have to plan it. He's got.
Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate my talents. But I will be taking my medical bag with us.
Yes. Absolutely, we need to be prepared. Right,
on that point, if she is what we think she is, then there's quite likely going to be violence. What are we going to take in terms of preparing for that?
Well, I think we should probably start with things that don't make a noise. So I'm going to take, I think, knife, blackjack, that kind of. I'm taking my pistol with me, but I'm not going to use it as by default, because someone will report gunfire,
especially if the windows are open.
Yeah.
I will take mine, but use it as a last resort.
I think firearms should always be the last resort, to be honest.
Yeah. Quite so.
Maybe conscious of what I said before, the Lex should basically try and punch her out, and then we all pile in on her and try and pin her down.
Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
Okay, love it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so you're going to head off back to Holbein Mews, Chelsea.
We are.
Okay.
And perhaps we should wait outside, check around the back. before we do go charging in.
Why?
Try to assess whether or not there's someone else in there other than the Shipley.
When you say check out the back, what do you mean the back garden?
Yes. Have a look to see just if anyone is in there.
Okay, you head out into the street outside. Are you going to try and get a cab?
No, yeah, but let's get dropped off some distance away and then walk, because if it does turn into death and destruction, we won't want a taxi driver saying that he dropped us off. So we need to be able to put some distance between where we're dropped and.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perhaps we should take 2 cabs as well, because a group of 4 is probably going to be quite memorable for a taxi driver, and
Mm.
2 groups of 2 less so.
And maybe talk about somewhere that we're going to in Chelsea, a famous landmark. Have that
Or
as
just
a
don't,
reason.
or just don't talk at all, because then there'd be nothing for him to report back on. Don't say anything memorable.
Don't tell him your name, Pike.
Okay. As you get out, as you're just about to catch a cab outside, Jacob, you just notice a couple of Egyptian men emerge around between a couple of shops across the other side of the road. And as the group of you are kind of walking along the road trying to hail a cab, you see them doing exactly the same on the other side of the road, but they keep glancing across the road at you. You're pretty certain, Jacob, that you recognise one of the Egyptian men from the Blue Pyramid Club.
Say to the others, gentlemen, don't look now, but I think we might have
We
might be
require
being
company.
watched.
In which case, let's head somewhere else. Either lose them or deal with them.
We're fine. We're fine with what we were doing. We weren't going directly to where we were going anyway. We just kick out on the street and see if they're on the street with us.
And if they are, then we'll deal with them then.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So
Okay,
we'll
you just
hail cabs.
You just ignore them and then carry on. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. You hail cabs and make the short trip. So you're just going to be dropped off like a couple of streets away from where Shipley's house is.
Yeah.
Okay. You get out of the cabs, both of you. Well, all 4 of you, even both of the cabs. Okay, you're looking around. There's quite a bit of traffic around. What are you going to do when you get out? Are you going to make a specific effort to stand around for a bit, or are you just going to move off straight away?
We'll wait and see if they stop, if we see them.
Yeah, take a slightly circuitous route to Holbein Mews, just to give us a chance to see if we're being followed.
Okay, well, just as you're about to move off, you get out of the cab. You're paying the cabbies, and you both join up in a group. Both groups join up, the 4 of you, and you start to walk off. And you can you everybody make a spot hidden roll, please?
Yep.
That's
I've got a hard success.
That's
Ooh.
hard success as well.
Okay. You all okay, so anybody that has a hard success, that's Jacob and Lex.
Yep.
Yeah. At the bottom of the road, you see a cab turn the corner, just as you're walking along the pavement, and you see 4 men, all of which look to be of an Egyptian origin. It's different. Obviously, you're quite a long way away from them, but they're quite distinctively dressed. They all get out of the cab.
This is a fresh group of 4, is it?
No, you assume that they're probably the same ones that
Okay.
picked you up outside the hotel. Well, they're at the other end of the street, so they just literally just come around the corner and they've cut the cab. They just got out of their cab.
I'll nod to Jacob. Let's just walk straight at them.
I think so. We need to lose them, don't we? And that might be the best way to confront them.
We'll walk
Okay.
straight towards them and see what they do. And actually, we could turn some tables here and start following them.
That will be entertaining.
Yeah.
Nice idea. I like that.
Okay, you're going to turn and just walk directly towards them, then, are you?
Or over towards them, yeah.
Right, you head down the pavement on this side of the road. They're all kind of hanging around. The cab's pulled off, and they're hanging around by some railings outside one of the shops, trying to look as if they're not looking your direction. Obviously, as it becomes clearer to them that you're heading straight towards them, they all there's 4 of them. They all come together in a group, and they just stand there like smoking, just looking casual, but they're watching you as you approach.
Keep walking towards them.
Okay, you can basically you can approach them They don't seem to be moving. They regard you with a kind of cross between disdain and mirth on their faces.
Gonna let Lex take the lead on this.
Lex does not like Murph. Okay, I'll just walk straight up to them, and I'll stand next to them without saying anything. Just looking all size 80.
Okay, one of them kind of steps away. You have a problem?
Stay silent.
He looks up at you. Are you going to try and intimidate him?
Yeah,
Okay. Make an intimidate roll then, please.
success.
Okay. He looks up at you and he, like, you can see that he's thinking about what to do next. And then he kind of backs away without trying not to lose face. Just says something to one of his colleagues. You think it might be Arabic. You're not really sure.
Is Stanton close?
Yep, I'll have a listen.
He says, "Let's back off." And the group kind of just walk. They walk backwards for a bit, looking at you, and then they turn around and kind of head down the road.
Oh,
We follow them for a bit.
Yeah, I'd say I'll watch them go until they get 15 feet away, and then I'll follow them.
Yeah, once they walked away a few steps, I'll just mutter under my breath. They just agree to walk off and to walk away.
Okay. You follow them. They turn a corner, and when they see that you're still following them, they go into a cafe, which is about 100 yards from where you originally saw them. They go in there and go over to a table.
Come on, let's mess with them.
Hail a cab and go. Literally, hail a cab, and the four of us can jump in it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, well, Lex,
We
you
do.
wait near the door, daring them to come out. Hopefully they'll stay in.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
another hails a cab.
yeah, it's a pretty busy part of London, so you hail a cab pretty quickly, and yeah, you before they can even come back out of the cafe, you're in and you're off.
And just tell the taxi driver to take us the other side of the house that we're going to, as it were. So two streets over the other way, and we'll
Okay.
just double back to where we wanted to go.
Okay. Glancing back in the cab, you're pretty confident that you've lost them, and the taxi driver drops you off where you ask him to.
Well done, Lex.
Just nod.
Should we wait 5 minutes and see, just to make sure?
Yes, we could do without being outnumbered.
No, we should
Silent.
we should get off the street, because if they jumped in the cab and they're looking for us, if we're on the street, they'll find us. We get in the house as quick as we can.
I hate them to
Okay.
spot us at the point that we get into the house, but fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to head directly towards Holbein Mews, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you make your way as quick as you can to Miles Shipley's house, and on the way, obviously you're all eyes, all of you, and you don't spot any evidence that you've been located or followed from where you were dropped. Presently, you find yourself in front of the small, somewhat dilapidated townhouse located in a quiet, narrow cul-de-sac in Chelsea. The exterior of the property reflects the modest, worn character of the area. The paintwork is chipped on the door, the brickwork is grimy. The house in general has an air of neglect. The windows are obscured by heavy curtains and shuttered, making the interior impossible to glimpse. You're standing in front of the gate as it stands.
Are we ready?
Go for it, Jacob.
Knock firmly on the door.
Are you all four of you going, I presume, up to the door?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If she doesn't let us in, just walk in.
Okay. There's no answer from your knocking.
By the door.
It's not. It's like a front door, isn't it? So it's not got any handle or anything on it. You can't just open it.
Oh, that's rubbish.
You could if it was on the latch.
Yeah, you could if it's on the latch, but
My
you
front
push
door's-
it.
My
You
front
push
door's
it.
got a handle.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah,
how
it's-
I'm frustrated. Should we go and have coffee? I'll
Foiled
knock,
by a door once again.
I'll knock on the door again loudly.
Okay. You're just about to give up, or think of an alternative option when you hear bolts being drawn back from the other side of the door, and presently the door opens ever so slightly, and you see the kindly old lady that is Miles Shipley's mother. Her face just poking around the corner of the crack in the door. Hello.
I'll go on the charm offensive. Good morning, Mrs. Shipley. We're back. We're here to see Miles about acquiring one of his wonderful paintings. Can we perhaps come in? It's freezing out here.
All of you feel like the kind of waft of warm air from inside. Back about the paintings, you say?
Yes, that's right.
Jeez, Miles doesn't really like accepting visitors without an appointment.
Well, he told us to come back to today, so I'm going to step forward and push the door and walk in.
Okay, she kind of... she steps back.
Thank you, Mrs. Shipley. As I said, it's freezing out here.
But...
I'll rush up so I'm right behind Jacob.
Any chance of some tea, Mrs. Shipley, while we're waiting for Miles? I'm sure it would warm us all up a little.
There's more of you this time.
Yes, very good to meet you. Through here, is it?
Yes, just go through. It's just through that door there.
Yeah, I'll make my way through to the living room.
Oh, well, you're in now, aren't you? So sit down.
Close the door while you wait in, Stanton.
Yeah, please. She takes you along the corridor, or she follows you actually along the corridor, through an open door into the reception room, which is where you sat last time. Miles is painting. I'll go and I'll call him and see whether he'll come and see you.
Thank you. Perhaps we could have some tea while we're waiting. Did so enjoy it this time.
Yes, let me just go and call Miles first. She goes up the stairs to the first landing, and you hear her shouting up the stairs, "Miles, you have visitors, Miles. They've come to look at the paintings. Miles, there are visitors here. The gentleman who came yesterday, plus some others. Miles, there are gentlemen here to see you."
Have a look. I'll quickly say we should have a quick look at some of the other rooms.
Yeah. As soon as she leaves, though, I'm assuming the heaters are on again.
Yeah.
As soon as she leaves, I'm going to start turning them. And can someone open a window?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what are you going to say? So in the reception room where you are, you're going to turn the heaters off and open the window.
Yeah.
I want to move to the door that she'll come back into, so that she encounters me first when she comes back in the room.
Okay. So presently he comes back downstairs. Comes back into the room. So one of these open the window. What are you doing? Just standing around, sitting down, or?
I'm standing by the window.
Standing. Yeah. In fact, we'll open as many windows as there are.
Please, close the window. I'm old. I get very cold. This is a little bit too much for me. There's a lot of you, and he's quite a big gentleman. She says.
Very stuffy in here. Sorry,
I'll smile as sweetly as I can.
Warm as the reptile house at London Zoo, Mrs. Shipley.
Please close the window. She walks over to the window and she closes it. Please don't open it again. I feel the cold in my bones.
Is Miles on his way down?
He'll be down in a minute, he said. Please sit down. You're sort of all kind of towering over her. She's probably not even 5 foot tall. Please take a seat. You're upsetting me.
Any chance of that tea?
If you all sit down and be polite, I'll make you some tea. Of course.
Isn't quite the welcome I was expecting, Jacob. You said she was friendly.
Well, perhaps that was yesterday. Mrs. Shipley, I'm concerned about Miles's welfare.
Did you say you wanted tea?
Well, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Don't open the window again, please. I do feel the cold.
2 sugars, please.
Why are you concerned anyway? He's okay. He just works too hard. I told you.
We talk over tea.
I'll go and make it. Goes off into the kitchen. You can see the door's open. The room from where you're sitting in the reception room. You can see her in the kitchen making the tea.
Open the windows again.
Yeah. Yes.
Presently, she comes back, having made the tea.
Did she react at all to the reptile house?
You didn't notice any reaction. This is too much for me. You keep opening. Why have you opened the window again? It's cold in here.
It's
Please.
stifling and very unpleasant. And if you wish us to purchase your son's paintings, I would have thought that making your guests comfortable would be foremost in your mind.
Please, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Please leave. Otherwise, I'll call the police.
Perhaps we'll go and see Miss Miles.
Please, I said you needed to leave.
Perhaps you should call the police.
They may be interested in Miles's welfare as well.
I don't understand what you're talking about. You're very rude. Please,
Indeed.
Can you leave? She drops she's picked up a cup and she drops it and the tea all spills out of it. Now look what you've made me do. Please, you're upsetting me. And she puts her hand on her heart. I can feel I have a dodgy heart. It's not good for me. She sits down. I'm not feeling too well. Please.
Well, we definitely should call the police then. I'm sure that they would assist you. Perhaps search the premises while they're at it. I'm sure there are some very interesting things here.
I don't know what you're talking about. She looks up at you with her sad, kind eyes. Please, you're upsetting me. I have done nothing wrong. I do my best to look after Miles. I can't help it that he works so hard.
And why does Miles feel the need to lock his doors if you look
And why
after him
is-
so well?
And why is Miles so scared of you, Mrs. Shipley?
He's not scared of me. What do you mean scared of me? Because I'm his mother, aren't I?
He is, Mrs.
You're being very rude.
Perhaps we should spend some time talking to your son without you present, so that he could give us some assurances that he isn't being held here and that you are treating him in the way that he should be treated.
You hear some footsteps coming down the stairs as you say that. Well, he's coming now, so you can ask him yourself. You see the gaunt figure of Miles Shipley appear in the doorway. What's happening, Mother? Your voice was raised. They're being horrible to me, Miles. These men, they pushed the door, pushed in, and now they're opening the windows, saying all sorts of horrible things. His eyes narrow. He says, "What is this all about?"
It's about your welfare, Miles.
He glances at his mum, and then glances back. What are you talking about? My welfare. I'm perfectly happy, perfectly well.
Well, we don't think you are, Miles.
My mother is old and vulnerable.
If that's the case, then why are you scared of her?
You see, he starts wringing his hands. I'm not scared of her. What are you talking about?
You're terrified of her, Miles. I could see it yesterday. It was written all over your face. Are you being held here against your will?
We can help you, Miles. You just have to ask, and we will take you away from here. You can paint elsewhere, wherever you like. You can paint whatever you like.
I do not know what you're talking about. I am here. My mother is old. Look at her. She couldn't harm a fly.
You don't have to be strong to be able to have a hold over somebody. You can see it in your face that you're scared of her. There's something you're not telling us.
This is madness. If you don't leave, I'm going to have to call the police.
Then please do call the police, because I believe that the police would be as concerned as we are. And it may be wiser that you speak to them directly and that your mother speaks to them directly and that they can have a look around the house and see the nature of your habitation. Why are you locking your doors? Why is it so hot down here and so cold where you stay? Is she denying you heat?
My
Do you have to sleep
my
up
mother
there?
is old. She needs the heat. I do not feel the cold.
Nobody
the
needs
doors.
this level of heat.
I lock
This
the
isn't
doors
natural.
because my work is worth a lot of money. Do you not know that? Your friend here purports to be an art expert. He'll be able to attest to how much my paintings go for.
You haven't explained, Miles, why you are terrified of Mrs. Shipley.
He glances at his mother again.
I'll make sure I'm standing behind her chair if she's sat down.
She stands up and says, I can't take any of this anymore, Miles. I'm going to go and lie down. She stands up to walk, and she walks across the room.
We know what you are.
You're going to try and stop her, are you?
I'm not going to stop her. I was standing behind the chair saying, I just call across. We know what you are. We've seen you in your son's paintings. Oh, that worked.
Suddenly, Bertha's body shudders violently, and her face contorts unnaturally. The seams of her human guise, her skin seem to ripple like water disturbed by an unseen wind. Then, with a sickening, wet, tearing sound, the mask of humanity slips away. Her form expanded, her limbs elongating grotesquely. Smooth, glistening green scales emerge from where once was flesh. Her face warps into the unmistakable visage of a serpent, her jaw elongating to reveal rows of dagger-like fangs that glint in the dim light. Her yellow slitted eyes lock onto yours, blazing with an ancient alien intelligence. What are you going to do?
I'm going to look at Lex.
I'm going to jump on that lizard lady with literally all of my might.
Okay.
I'm going to pull my gun, but not shoot it yet.
Am I anywhere near?
Yeah, you're all in quite a small room together.
Can I get to him easily?
Yeah. So, what
Stand
am I going to
between
do?
him and lizard.
Use him as a human shield.
No, the other way around.
Okay. Lex, you see as you move towards whatever this thing is, you see its serpentine eyes lock onto yours, and you feel it speaking to you in some ancient tongue within your head that oddly you can understand. Can you make a power roll, please?
Ooh, I have failed my power roll.
Oh,
Okay.
Not by much, but enough.
Okay. I just sent you a message. So before Lex does anything, so Lex was doing that. Just for clarity, what was it that you were doing, Jacob?
Pulling my gun.
You were pulling your gun. Stanton, you were trying to move towards Miles.
Yeah,
With-
to
with-
move
with a-
him behind a chair, or to move us and him, especially behind a chair and away from my mother.
Okay. So he's standing in the doorway. So you're going to try and because you have to push him or drag him, force him to do
Yes.
that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to try and push him out
so-
of the doorway.
I'm pulling my gun and taking aim at Bertha.
Okay. Douglas, what were you doing?
I was standing behind the chair, but I'm going to draw my pistol as well.
Okay, so you moved to go behind the chair. Oh, you're already behind the chair.
I'm behind the chair, yeah.
Okay. Righty-ho. Okay, Lex. So you begin to move towards whatever Bertha is or was. What do you do?
Move towards Bertha, scanning the room. I see Jacob taking aim, so I swing a haymaker at Jacob.
Okay. Roll to hit them, please.
I'll try and dodge.
Okay.
I'm very sorry, but I've rolled 90, which is still a success.
So that's a regular success. Okay. And what did you get for your dodge?
A
Yes!
hard success.
Okay. Hard success. So despite the shock of Lex's changed attentions, at the last minute he just managed to sway out of the way as a huge haymaker. You feel it breeze past your chin. Okay. So that means that was a surprise. Okay, so Douglas, you can act next.
Now, I'll shoot it 3 times.
Okay. Okay. You
Point- is
you
it-
drew your gun and you're gonna shoot it. Okay.
Yeah, is that point blank?
Yeah.
Regular hit. Oh God, it's been a while since we've done this, so that's 1 hit, and that is 5 damage.
Okay.
Second shot, that's miss.
Okay.
Third shot, oh yeah, just a that's a hard success.
Okay.
Yeah.
You rolling
Yeah.
your bonus die as well?
Oh no, I didn't.
No,
Oh
'cause
no,
it's
'cause you
bonus.
don't get
No,
it.
it's the third one. No, yeah.
Yeah.
And that one is
Ooh, yes.
9 damage.
Okay. 8. So you did 9 and 5, yeah?
5, yeah.
Okay, so both bullets smack into the reptilian monstrosity that now stands where Bertha stood. Kind of both, it's rocked back, especially by the second bullet. The first one hits it kind of top of the leg. The second one hits it right in the chest. But to your horror, it hasn't fallen. It is bleeding and badly injured. But its scaly skin seems to have absorbed some of the velocity of the bullet. Nevertheless, it is now Jacob. It's your action. Oh, actually, hold on. No, actually, it's now Shipley's action. Actually, so he just screams "Nah!" and he comes flying across the room towards Jacob. He obviously hasn't got any weapons, but he's just trying to swing at you. I didn't roll.
Ooh, 99.
Okay, so in his haste to get across the room to try and protect whatever this thing is, he kind of trips over the chair, and Stanton is in the way as well because he was moving across to intercept him, and he doesn't really get anywhere near attacking you successfully. You can fight back if you want, or you can just carry on with what you're going to do.
Focus on the creature. I think that's the biggest threat. So I'm going to shoot that 3 times.
Okay, roll to hit them, please.
Ordinary success.
Okay.
Second shot
Ooh.
is an extreme success,
Okay. Nice.
and the third shot is an ordinary and an extreme.
Ordinary, and then
success.
you got an impale as well, yeah.
Yeah, if that's what. Yeah, if
Okay.
that's the consequence.
Yeah.
So first ordinary hit, 7 damage,
Okay, again, that's another one that slams into the chest of the serpentine monster.
and then what's the consequence of an impale for the second one? Is that
You get it's maximum damage, plus you roll it again.
Oh, sorry, wrong one. Got really
Don't get to roll D100. That's not
overexcited.
bad.
Yeah, 35 damage.
Oh,
Oh, yes. Maximum damage plus maximum roll. Nice.
16 then.
Okay, you slam the first bullet slams into the serpentine chest of this creature, but you then instinctively, almost in slow motion, bring your gun to bear and release a bullet which hits it directly between its serpent-like eyes, and the head explodes, covering the whole of the room, including yourselves, in serpent gore. The destroyed body of the thing slops to the ground, emitting an even stronger stench, the likes of which you've already smelt in here. Vile stench. You kind of reel back after seeing and smelling the consequences of that shot, and almost instantaneously as the serpent creature hits the ground, you see its body begin to dissolve.
no! Take a photograph of it, quick.
Okay, what are you going to do, everybody?
What's Miles doing?
Pick Miles up.
Yeah, I'm heading for Miles.
Miles drops to his knees, and seeing that, he crumbles to his knees, shaking violently. It looks as though he's still under the grip of some unseen force. He shakes. She's gone. She's gone.
He's gone, Miles. Will you leave with us? We'll take you to safety.
The visions, they're still here. He grabs hold of you, pulls you towards him. Crawling behind my eyes, writhing in my skull. The paintings, they're still alive. She made me paint them, made me see with the drug. starts crying, just pulling at his hair and scratching himself on the face.
So I have two questions.
I want a quick one. Are you all right, Lex?
That's going to be my first question. Yes. How do I feel?
Yes, you are. You are now back to being whatever it was that was controlling your mind has obviously been banished.
Okay. My other question was going to be: is there an open fireplace?
Yes, there is. Yes.
I shall point at the open fireplace, look sheepishly at Jacob, mouth a little sorry at him, then point at the open fireplace and say, "In there, that's where the paintings need to go."
The drug, the plutonium drug.
The what drug?
What?
Plutonium. The plutonium drug. She said it would open my mind, and it did. It opened my mind to hell.
Where is this?
He pulls himself up from his knees and he points upwards up the stairs, almost like a child, and he says, the cupboard in the corner, not those ones, not the ones on the walls, the other ones. She made me lock them away. She said they were too strong, too dangerous. The cupboard, don't open the cupboard. They're in there. They hum with the magic like living things. I can hear them sometimes even now. If you look at them too long, they'll look back. And if you look too deep, they'll never come back. He starts crawling on the floor now towards you, and it was crawling around the room. His thin paint-streaked hands are clawing at the floor. She made me take the drug to see the truth.
Maybe the drug will wear off and you'll be able to see normal things again.
Give us the key to the. Give us the key.
The key.
What's the lizard creature has disintegrated? Are her clothes still there? Is there any evidence of her?
Bertha's clothes are there, but not. There's no clothes. The lizard creature didn't have any clothes.
Yeah, I would just say but okay, but her clothes are all ripped and stuff. We need.
Yeah.
Is the fire going? Because if it is, I want to burn the clothes.
Yes, the fire is going.
Yeah, put them into the fire.
Okay.
I think we should go into the bedrooms and get blankets, take the paintings, cover them up, and watch them
In the garden.
Yeah, wherever is safe.
Blake,
Don't look at them.
He grabs hold of your sleeve. He says, "The visions, they poured into me. Endless cities, spiraling towers, serpent kings ruling over aeons. I could feel the heat of their sun. I could taste the air, hear them whispering in my ears, telling me their secrets. But it wasn't just to see. It was to paint, to create their gates, a bridge between there and now. each stroke, each colour a thread tying their past to our present. She said with enough paintings the gates would rip open. She said they'd pour through, bringing their empire back to life.
How
It
many
wasn't-
paintings have you done? How many
I
are
do not-
needed?
I don't know. I can't remember.
We should destroy the paintings, Miles. Help us. We don't want more of them to come through, and I'm sure you don't either.
He collapses onto the ground and he starts trying. He's destroy them, burn them all, especially the ones in the cupboard. If you don't, they'll open and they'll come through.
Give
The
me the
ones in the
key,
cupboard.
Miles.
Have you sold any of the special ones from the cupboard? Are the ones here the only ones?
The special ones weren't for sale.
So they're not out and about in London. They're all here. Are you sure, Miles?
I'm sure. I'm
Okay.
sure. She always watched over me when I sold any to make sure I wasn't selling any of those. The only ones I sold is when the drug revealed other things to me.
So those paintings any more than their content. They are not gates to another one.
No, they are just the byproduct of the drug. The drug allowed me to see things that men should not see.
I do think those paintings could be used
Well,
certainly through
yes, you can examine those ones. You can examine those ones,
Mm.
Danton,
the
but
ones in the cupboard. No.
we shouldn't even look at those. Someone needs to go in there with a hood over them and feel around and knife them to start with, and then we can burn them.
I was thinking a blanket out in front of your face and just throw blankets over them.
Yeah.
Miles, give me the key to your studio and to the cupboard, and we'll destroy the paintings for you.
Yeah, give the key to Jacob.
Okay. As you ask Miles that, suddenly you hear a knock on the door.
I'll go to the door. You guys start.
I'll do that.
painting.
I'm probably better at that than
You're
you
quite
would be.
you are
You're-
quite aware of the fact that all of you are covered in gore, by the way.
Oh, did the gore not disintegrate as well?
Actually, yeah, it would have. Good point. So you're not covered in gore any longer.
Yay! Self cleaning victims, love it. I'll go to the door.
I'll head upstairs before you open the door. So,
I'll go with Jacob then.
has Miles given me the key?
Yeah, he kind of reaches into his pocket with shaking hands, and he's a broken man. He's collapsed to the ground. He's just sobbing now. Yeah, he gives you the key.
I'll sit Miles in a chair and stay with him, trying to calm him down.
Yeah, good idea.
And I'll head
Look after him.
upstairs to the studio.
I'll
you're
go
gonna
with
head to the
Jacob
studio.
and Douglas and get the door.
Okay. You open the when you open the door, is it just going to be you there, or how many people
Just
are going
me.
to be visible? Okay.
Just me.
You open the door and you see a police constable standing outside. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I have reported for some gunshots being heard.
Gunshots.
I know it sounds a bit fanciful.
Not. Well, certainly not from here. I heard what I thought was a car backfiring, maybe 10, 15 minutes ago. Struck the windows, but not gunfire.
Are you the owner of the property, sir?
No, I'm not. I'm just visiting. I've come to purchase a painting. This is an artist's house, in case you weren't aware.
Mr. Shipley not around?
He is. He's upstairs, currently showing some of my colleagues the artwork. We were thinking of trying to set up an agreement with him to sell some in the United States. So that is why we are here.
But you've not heard or seen anything suspicious then?
No. As I said, gunfire would be highly irregular here. Surely, I would expect it in New York, perhaps, but not here. Are you sure?
Well,
As I say, I did hear a car backfire, but that was fairly obviously a car.
yes, it's very likely that's what it was, sir. That's can I get you to make a
Talk.
fast talk roll, please?
Bum. Failed it.
I'll give you a bonus die because of the story that you came up with and the unlikeliness of the report.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
He says, all the same, I think I better come in and check. The report was quite specific that the noise had come from here. I'd like to come and have a word with Mr. Shipley if I could, please.
Certainly. I should warn you, he's not in the greatest state of mind at the moment. But please come in.
Okay, he steps into the hallway.
If you could wait here a moment, I'll go and get him for you.
Okay, so he's waiting at the far end of the hall, where the door. Obviously, the stairs go up out of the hallway, but you have to go right along the corridor to get to the door which enters into the reception room where Miles currently is.
Okay, I shall walk up the stairs
Mm.
and then come back down again and say, "Oh, they appear to have moved since I started speaking to you. Do bear with me. I'll see if I can find him." Then I'll go to the back room.
Okay.
Miles,
He's
there's a
he's
what?
rocking on the seat, like being kind of attended to by Stanton.
Oh dear. He's Miles. There's a policeman who wishes to speak to you. Would you be able to tell him that you are all right, and then we can look after you once he's gone?
Maybe we should tell him about the paintings.
No, if you tell them about the paintings, Miles, they'll take you away. They'll never believe you, but we believe you. You have to trust us.
But he turns to you and he looks you in the eyes and he says, "But I've killed so many for her to eat. I need to tell the police."
Well, I will show him my warrant card and say, "I am the police, Miles, but you can't tell this policeman. He won't be able to know what to do. I will help you and we'll make sure that everything that needs to be done shall be. But we can't involve him. He wouldn't understand."
I don't want to talk to him then.
Then can you tell him that all is all right and that he should leave?
What about the bodies in the cellar?
Well, if you tell him to leave, then he won't find them. You can show me them later.
It's okay. It's okay, Miles. We're here. I'm with you. Trust us. It will
Shall
all
I-
be okay. We will help you.
Oh.
We will look after you.
I'll try.
I'll take his arm and walk him out into. You guys stay in here. I'll take him to the door.
Okay, you take him into the hallway.
And
The policeman says, good morning, Mr. Shipley. Just wanted to check that everything was all right with you. We've had reports of what could have been gunfire in the area." Miles just looks at you, like his eyes are wide. You notice he's kind of dribbling out of one side of his mouth.
We didn't. We heard a car, didn't we, Miles, while we were talking about your artwork, but no gunfire as far as I'm aware. Did you hear anything like that? I don't think we did we?
I don't think we did we? No, we didn't. Are you okay, Mr. Shipley? You don't look particularly well. Is he all right?
He's not actually. You know what these artist types are like. He's actually fairly overwrought at the moment. He hasn't slept for a few days. He's been creating what I can only describe as, quite honestly, a masterpiece. It's massive, but it has taken a toll on him. We were about to leave, actually. I think he could really do with some rest. If there is anything else, Constable, but please let us know. Otherwise, we'll say our goodbyes to Miles here, and we'll be on our way.
Okay. Can you make another fast talk roll, please, or persuade, or any other?
I stormed it. That's a critical success.
Okay. The policeman's concerned expression is quickly allayed by your words, and he's like, "Yes, well, I better be getting back on my round. If you hear anything, obviously report it immediately."
Yes, absolutely. If I do hear any more gunfire, or indeed machine guns, then I shall be sure to let you know. I'll scoff.
Mr. Shipley, I recommend that you maybe work a little less. I'll let myself out if you don't mind.
Thank you very much.
He shakes his head in a kind of whatever next sort of a way, and then leaves the house. Are you sure we shouldn't have told him?
Absolutely not. If there's one thing I know about the police, you need to go straight to the top. And trust me, I'm the top.
Are you? Oh, that's so good. I'm so lucky. Thank you so much for rescuing me.
No, that's what we're here for. Now, what was it you were saying about bodies in the cellar?
Well, there's only 2 because she's eaten all the others.
How many do you think there were?
How many bodies? Well, I only normally got her a couple at a time.
And how did you get them?
Am I going to get into trouble?
Not at all. I think it's obvious that you were under her control, and I'm sure that any court would see that you are a victim too.
Maybe I deserve to die. I've done
Certainly
terrible
not.
things.
But you're under the influence of her and her drugs.
To go to sleep. I want it all to go away.
Perhaps if you rest, then you'll feel better once the drugs start to wear off. Do you have
Mm.
somewhere where we could take you to so that you could sleep whilst we dispose of the paintings?
My bedroom.
Stanton,
Yes, coming. I'll pop my head out of the.
do you think you could take Miles to his bedroom, perhaps give him something so that he can sleep?
Yes, of course. I'm sure
Okay.
he would.
He leads you
Yeah, sleep
upstairs
for a
to
week.
his bedroom, which you find to be in quite an unkempt state. There are clothes everywhere. The bed looks like it hasn't been washed for months, probably.
Have a look for some clean sheet.
Okay, you kind of hunt around in his room, but there doesn't seem to be any of the clean
No.
sheets in his room.
Well, tidy up as.
Okay, he just flops onto the bed and draws his knees up under his chin and sobs himself to sleep.
Yeah, I'll see if I've got some little potion relaxing.
Okay.
Vinegar.
Right, you
Brown paper.
set Miles to sleep. What are you gonna do now? What are Lex and Jacob doing? You hanging about downstairs still?
No, I headed upstairs to the study with the studio with the key.
Okay, of course you did. Yeah.
And I was going to
You're gonna follow
bedrooms.
Jay?
You're
I
coming
was going
too,
to
Lex.
bedrooms to get sheets.
I'll set
Okay.
about searching the rest of the house, but not going down to the cellar just yet.
Apart from Miles's bedroom, there are 3 other bedrooms, and one of them in particular doesn't have. It looks like the bed hasn't been slept in for a long time, and you're looking at the kind of the ornaments and the pictures and everything that's around the room. You guess this might have been Bertha's room at one point.
Okay.
Right, but Lizard Bertha hasn't been sleeping in here.
No, there's a Bertha has not been sleeping in actual Bertha's bed.
In that case, the sheets might not be too horrific, so I'll grab those sheets.
Okay. What are you doing with the sheets?
Taking them up to Jacob for the
Okay.
paintings.
Okay, Jacob. You get to the garret door. You got the key. You open the door. You see the dangling kerosene lamps that light this room, as you remember from previously. It's dark in here because the skylight has been blackened, as I mentioned previously. You can see all the canvases along the walls that you looked at before, and also the cupboard in the corner, to which you now have the key to the padlock.
I'm going to turn the lights down as much as I can with a view to just being able to see what I'm doing, but I really want to try and make sure I don't inadvertently see the pictures in the cupboard. Are there any sheets or anything?
Well, Lex arrives with an arms full of sheets.
Just in the nick of time, Lex.
Right.
I'll turn the kerosene lamps down as low as they'll go, just to have the tiniest bit of light in the room.
Okay. Are you going in the room as well, Lex?
Yes, so I'm going in. I want to hold the sheets up over my face for when he unlocks the door, and then my idea is I'm just going to go in and put sheets over paintings without looking at them.
Okay.
I'll unlock the door, open it without looking in to begin with, and instead of looking in, I'm just going to reach in with my hand to see if I can. How large a cupboard is it?
It's about it's about, looking at it now, 3 foot wide by about 5 foot deep and 6 foot high.
I'm just
It's
going to reach in and see what I can feel to be.
Okay. Yeah, you can just feel lots of picture frames. So you kind of feel around in the room, and you think there's probably about a dozen or so.
Does it feel like they're on?
They're all just sat. They're all on the floor.
Okay, so if I can feel a picture frame,
Yeah.
I should know which is the flat side and which is the pretty side.
Yeah. It
Good
feels
old
like
Cana-
it
good old
feels like
Canadian boy that I am.
it feels like they're laid down on the floor, facing away, so that the actual picture is facing away from you, so their backs are to the door.
Okay, so can I just knock them over so that they're face down onto the floor?
Yeah.
Let's do that. I'll just
Yeah.
go around.
We'll start wrapping it in the sheets.
Okay.
Without looking at them.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, now that you can see that there isn't any on the walls, they're literally they're all just stacked along the floor. You
Yeah,
push them
I'll
over, see. Yeah.
kick them all over so they're all face down, and then we'll wrap them up.
Okay. Righty ho. There is all of them are about the same size. All of them are the same size, so roughly 1 foot by 2 feet. But there is one that's a lot bigger than that. Probably the size of a large mantle mirror.
Okay.
You're still just treating them all the same, yeah?
Go on.
Okay,
Yeah.
so your plan is to knock them all over and then place a sheet over them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wrap them up.
Wrap
And if
them
we have
all
to
up.
Wrap them up and then
if
try
we
to
have to
get
wrap
them.
2 or 3 together, that's fine. But just make sure
Okay.
they're all wrapped in sheets before we move them.
And then once they're wrapped in sheets, I'll try and pick them all up.
Okay. You can pick up a bundle each. It's quite unwieldy. There's probably too many to all, but yeah, between the two of you, you can pick them up. And what you can do, take them back downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the backyard.
Okay. Okay.
I'll just as we go down, I'll just call for Douglas and Stanton.
Okay, you can see. Okay, so Douglas and Stanton, you see Lex and Jacob coming down the stairs with their arms full of what you assume are paintings wrapped in sheets.
Be careful with those chaps. No stumbling. Do you need a hand?
Nobody even tempted to take a look.
No.
Just slowly and steadily.
Okay, you get to the bottom of the stairs without any mishaps.
The backyard, is it self-contained?
Yeah, there's a wall all around it, and it's also got quite a big tree in it as well, which offers quite a lot of shelter.
How are we going to dispose of these gentlemen? Are we going to burn them in the fireplace, which would mean we'd have to break them up, or risk a larger fire in the backyard?
Backyard.
Yeah.
The two, you think? Yeah, they're going to be too big to put in the.
They're just canvases. They're not in frames, are they?
No.
Oh.
They're in frames, but they're not in decorative frames. They're just in working frames.
Yeah.
So you have like the battens.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the house that, in the kitchen, for example, that would work as an accelerant? There must be kerosene around.
Kerosene, yeah.
Logs
For the lamps.
I'll go and
We
find
must have
some.
some logs for the fireplace or coal.
They do. There's a big log pile in the back garden.
Just put them face down, chuck kerosene over, and then like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Make sure they're face down when you.
So you throw them face down in the back garden. What, with the sheets on still, or taking the sheets off?
Yep, sheets on.
Sheets on. Douse it all with kerosene, then set fire to it.
Yep.
The hotter the better. As little smoke as possible.
Okay, you do exactly what you said. You set fire to. You pour the kerosene over, and light it. Straight to where you notice that the fire does not behave naturally. The flames burn in strange colours. Sickly greens, deep purples, and unnatural blacks that seem to consume not just the canvas but the very air around it. A horrible, acrid, otherworldly smell, sharp and cloying, is released, as if the fire is burning something far more ancient than oil and fabric. Suddenly you see odd shadows flickering unnaturally in the flames, forming shapes that seem to writhe and twist like serpents in impossible ways.
Turn away. I'm not.
It's too late. It's too late, I'm afraid. It's too late. Can you make a sanity roll, everybody, please? Anybody fail?
I failed again.
I passed twice accidentally.
I absolutely. I actually gained sanity from watching that.
Is it just okay?
Yeah.
You lose 2 points of sanity, Jacob. You turn away in disgust. You can feel you're almost sick as you see these horrible, otherworldly forms in the smoke. Your head swims momentarily. How did Stanton get on?
Yeah, Stanton failed also.
He failed as well. Okay.
Only just.
Okay, you lose three points of san. However, those are those shadowy kind of serpent-like figures in the flames only seem to last momentarily, and then the flames die. The colours disappear, and the flames then return as if they are just normal flames, as the magical energies trapped within the paintings have been released. You all just stand there in silence, watching them burn.
Yeah. On my face and try to gather myself.
We've done the world a great service in destroying those.
The implications.
What about the others, the ones that looked at and considered buying? Didn't you say that even those ones made you feel uneasy?
They did initially, once for a while.
Disturbing rather than magical.
Yeah, exactly.
So
unpleasant.
they should go too.
Strange.
Do they? Well, do they?
Well, I don't think they're going to cause us any problem. And the subject, I'm sure, would
Well,
you've at least refer to things that we know about.
Well, I think we should probably take Miles's word for it. He said that those were the ones that were not.
Tragic.
Yeah.
The special paintings that we've destroyed.
Yeah, those ones, and I'll point to those had to go. But the others, like the books, we need to study them. For a start, I'd like you to look at the Herald. There's a lady in there.
Should we search the house?
Yes, we should.
I think we need to help Miles as much as we can by disposing of things nefarious.
Well, let's just see what there is first, eh?
Maybe save the cellars.
Yes.
Should we go from top to bottom?
Yep. Let's start in the attic then. The
You
studio.
can search, are you?
When we go back upstairs, I will check in on Miles, see how he's.
Yeah, he's asleep. So you've got a feeling where you think that he's going to need more than just rest. He's obviously he's going to need some proper psychological, psychiatric help for him to recover from the ordeal that he's been through.
I'll say that to the others.
Yeah, well, I assumed that something like that was going to have to be the case, but let's worry about that once we discover what's in the rest of the house.
So we could take him to a sanatorium.
Okay, so you're going to search the house. So are you just going to go around together searching it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, just go room by room from top to bottom.
Okay, can I get you all to make a spot hidden roll, please?
Yep, pass that.
Yeah, I have also succeeded.
Are they just standard successes?
Mine's a standard.
Yeah,
Me
it's
too.
Fail from.
Okay.
Standard success for.
Okay, Stanton, because you're in the room, you're kind of it makes sense for you to search around Miles's bedroom first. When you said you went up to check on him, you find hidden behind a hat box on the top shelf in his wardrobe is a lacquered box, and the box contains a syringe and a small vial filled with greenish coloured liquid. The syringe has been used so often that the proper dosage can easily be seen by the line of green residue within the tube.
Okay.
Literally.
Yeah. That's it. Roll my sleeve up.
Okay, you've searched the ground floor and the upper floor and the attic, and you haven't really found anything of any interest. So it only really leaves the basement.
Prepare yourselves, gentlemen. I fear that what we are going to find might not be too pleasant.
There are stairs leading down from the kitchen into the basement.
Scarves over our faces, noses.
You head down into the basement, which seems that it's large. It's the size of the whole house, pretty much. It's cluttered with various junk, boxes, crates, broken chairs are stacked about. But you can see a pathway of sorts leads to the south wall.
Okay, follow that.
Blake, you follow you said first, so you go along the path, which ends at a blank wall, and you kind of start looking around there. You notice the seam of a secret door in the brickwork.
Oh, okay, I'll push or pull at it, see if there's a catch.
Okay, yeah, there doesn't seem to be any catch, and you kind of push and pull where you would normally on a door. Nothing happens. Again, all of you are there. Do you all want to make a spot hidden roll again, please?
Nah.
Oh dear.
That's pretty impressive.
What a series of rolls there. No,
Yeah.
fail for me too.
3 in the 80s and 1 in the 90s.
Okay.
Sounds like a good time.
None of you made it, no?
No, but we definitely know there's something here. So
yeah, you know there's something there, but you just can't. None of you can see the way of actually opening it.
I'm going to push my roll.
Ooh, okay.
I guess short of a hammer and chisel.
5. Critical success.
Okay. How did you push it though? What did you
How did I push it? That's a good question. I am going to use my knife to scrape away around where I think it is until I can find hinges and catches.
Awesome.
Risking damaging the mechanism.
Exactly that. Risking breaking the door altogether.
Indeed.
But what you do manage to do is you kind of chisel away some of the grime and residue on the door, and you see that the brick right in the centre of the door seems to be slightly indented compared to the others. And you only managed to notice this after clearing away the cobwebs and the detritus. So what are you going to do?
Push the.
Okay, you hear a clicking. You hear a click, and the wall kind of moves a slight bit. You can see that. Yeah, so the one side of the door is now open slightly. You can just push it to open it.
All right, I shall do that.
Okay.
Then, we got any light down here? Otherwise, just get my torch out.
There's no light at all.
Yeah,
No.
torches.
Everyone's got torches, haven't
We're
they?
all carrying torches now.
And spare
Really
battery.
bright, really efficient ones. Yeah.
And
Okay,
spare
you're
batteries, yeah.
sweeping
I've
your
got this
as you
ship's
push the
lantern
door
here.
open. Your torch light, your torches fall on the room beyond. But before that happens, all of you gag at the strength of the smell that's released from this room. It's the horrible kind of cloying serpent smell that you smelled before in the house. Is like 3 times as strong here.
I think this is where she lives, where she sleeps or slept.
You kind of swing the torches around. You see shelves cover one wall, while the rest of the walls are scrawled with mystic symbols. The shelves hold numerous jars filled with dark substances, and at the foot of another wall is a bath-like stone tub covered with a large sheet of metal.
Mm.
The floor has various bits of undergrowth strewn around in it, like branches with leaves and bits of grass and other stuff.
Okay, we need to look in that. We don't want to look in there.
In the tub.
Yeah,
Do we need to look in there?
Probably. Who wants to look in the tub?
I'll do
I
it.
don't think any of us should. I think we learnt that lesson. We didn't learn the lesson. Acted wisely.
Yeah, there's a difference between a giant ceremonial well shaft and a bathtub. Would you not think?
Yes, but I imagine that there'll be bodies, or
Well, that I can deal with. I think we've all seen bodies before.
unless there's some other creature in
Rubber ducky.
small lizard.
Well, if Lex is happy to have a look, then I'm not going to stop him. Or I'll have a look. I don't mind.
Yeah, I'll go look.
You're gonna go and have a look.
Yeah.
I'm not going to look.
You're going to remove the metal lid from the stone tub. Okay. And you shine your torch inside. The first thing that you see is a severed young woman's head looking back at you. Most of the skin on its face has been removed and its eyeballs have been taken out. You also see that it's underneath it is another corpse, half eaten. Another woman, by the looks of it, young woman. Your stomach turns at seeing such a sight. Can you make a sound roll, please?
As I succeed.
Okay. Obviously, you turn your head away, but you've seen enough death in your job previously, and obviously over the last few weeks, actually, for that matter. That's all that seems to be in here, in that tub.
Okay.
So he was attracting young women to be meals for mother.
Let's cover that back up.
Okay, you
What else is down here?
Have a look at the jars on the shelves.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something I think I can do.
Does anyone have a camera so we can take some pictures of these symbols? If not, I sketch them to make a few copies. It'd be useful to have them for reference later on.
No, I'm not carrying a camera with me. I have one,
Yeah.
but
You're going to sketch the symbols.
Yeah, I always keep my sketchbook with me. So yeah, in my bag.
Okay, whilst you're making a sketch of the symbols, somebody said they were looking at the jars as well.
Well, I
Yes,
was going to look,
Stanton.
but I'll do the
Okay.
symbols instead.
Do the symbols. Okay, yeah. Okay, the jars are full of, half of the jars are full of kind of scientific or chemical substances, like there are fossils, acid, camphor, mercury, and such forth. But the other half of the jars are filled with substances that the likes of which none of you have ever seen before.
worth taking and investigating, do we think?
I think possibly. Well, the things that we don't know about possibly could be useful for sympathetic academics. But obviously, we don't want to release the.
No, but these things may be of use to us in
if we have to
investigations.
combat these creatures.
Yes, in and of themselves,
I
they're
guess.
just like they're not, they're inert. Okay.
So I think we should take some of them.
Has anybody got a chemistry skill at all?
Hang on,
No.
that's going to be under. No, it's actually no.
No,
That's
nobody's got
a dedicated skill, wouldn't you?
Okay, can Andy, can Jacob and Stanton also make a roll as well, please? Just a percentile roll for me.
On fire tonight, not 89 fail. Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what did you get?
56.
Okay,
56.
none of you have got any idea what these other
No.
liquids and solids are.
We should take them. Anything that looks
Yeah,
unnatural, we should take.
I agree.
yeah. Stanton does have some knowledge of medicine.
Yeah, and he's not seen anything
No.
like any of some of these substances.
not
Don't
enough.
look anything like
Well,
any of you guys have ever seen before.
I'll pop upstairs and look for a bag, backpack, something we can just pack these things into and take them away.
Yeah, suitcase.
And a long shot, Lex. But if you find a camera too,
Yeah, sure. I'll pop
Um,
upstairs and do some shopping in the house. I'll do it. I'll do the
Jolly
best.
good.
You've searched the house and
Thank you.
you haven't
Good
found a
man.
camera.
Yeah.
I'll get out my notebook and join Jacob in
Dots.
trying to
Okay.
transcribe some of these symbols.
Okay, you spend a good sort of 15, 20 minutes doing that. So you both got your own versions. That's good. What did you say you're doing, Lex?
Going upstairs looking for bag, backpack, suitcase, anything that we can bundle all this stuff into.
Okay, yeah. There are suitcases in the bedroom.
Okay, pick a couple of suitcases down. Personally in favour of destruction of all this, but let's at least take it somewhere else to destroy it.
Yeah. What else haven't we looked at yet?
To be honest with you, that's pretty much it in here. There wasn't really anything else in here.
So we need a way to remove those paintings, take them off their frames, off the canvas frames, and just take the canvases themselves.
Yeah, cut them out the frames and then roll them up, take them out.
So Darren, would those paintings just be on the canvases, the battens that would hold the canvas in place? They haven't got
the other
actual
ones. Yeah, they would
frames
be
on.
on exactly the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can
So we
remove
could just-
those without
Yeah.
causing too much damage, so I'll do that and I'll roll them all up.
So you're just going to remove. Those are all the ones the original ones that you
Yeah.
looked at yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the five.
non-special paintings. Yeah,
Yeah. They're special, but not really special.
yeah,
Mm.
not extra special.
Okay. Yeah, you remove those as well. Okay. Yep. So you now have a whole bag full of the stuff suitcases full of things that you've found in the cellar and the painting. That's it, really.
What are we going to do with
Okay.
Miles?
Well, before we get on to that, Miles's mum, when the lizard
Where was
changed,
she?
yeah, well, that's yeah. I was going
Yeah.
to say when the lizard changed its form, it wasn't wearing her body as a suit. It was the creature was had magically taken her form. Is that what it looked like, or was it wearing a
No, it had taken her form. You're right.
right? Okay, so where's the mum? Because we haven't found her body.
Eaten?
Could have been, yeah, she could have been eaten.
Expect
Yeah.
so.
Was she the first?
We've definitely searched everywhere.
Yeah, you touched everywhere. Yeah, her
It
body's
would-
not
it
here now.
It would have no interest or incentive to keep her alive, would it? So I think it's
No, I'm not thinking this. I'm
likely
not
she's
dead.
gone.
And what better way to get rid of a body than to eat it? I suppose.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Unless- yeah.
what of Miles and what of the corpses in the tub?
Well, luckily the bodies are in a secret room, so I would suggest that we seal up the secret room again and pile junk in front of the wall, because we only found that spot because there was a pathway leading to it. We block it up,
I agree. I
And-
think it's too much of a risk for us to try and dispose of them.
Yes.
and also horrendous as it is, there's going to be people who have lost loved ones and are never going to find out. But I don't think there's anything we can do about that without putting our purpose at risk.
It might be worse to actually find out.
Yes, yeah. So I say we seal it up, and just leave it. And then do we take Miles to a sanitarium, book him in? I mean, he's
think-
quite well known. It would be a bit difficult for us to drop him off and not leave our names, or there'll be some publicity. Unless we just
Could we anonymously contact the authorities and as a concerned citizen that he
but then
needs
they
help?
might come into the house.
Yeah, we need to take him somewhere that is discreet and also arrange for payment. He's a wealthy man.
Well, we could pay for it. It's not like we're short of money.
No.
I think take him to a sanatorium rather. We can. Does it really matter that we don't have to give names, do we?
No, we can just with a large sum of money book him in and say that we want him. He needs to be taken care of quietly and treated well, because that here is funds for his recovery.
Yeah.
Oh, very well, let's do that.
Well, you know that. You Blake know that Bethlehem Royal Hospital in Southwark just over the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the nearest and probably the best sanitarium from where you are currently.
No, right. In that case, we should take him there. We need to withdraw some funds and provide probably cash for that.
Should we get a cab and get the cash on the way?
Yeah.
Take Miles with us.
Okay. So
Miles
you're gonna
did sell his paintings for quite a lot of money. Should ask him if he can afford the sanitarium.
Oh, he certainly can.
Yeah. Well,
we have
that's
to
fair as
somehow.
well.
Yeah, we do
Yeah, he's
need.
got a bank account, hasn't he? Well, okay. Well, let's wake him up and ask him what is.
I'm joking. Let's just get him.
No,
get him
yeah, but I mean, it's a fair point. I mean, he.
Well, we can give them enough money to get him started with treatment. I'm sure once he starts to improve, he can probably sort out the rest himself.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your plan: is to get him across to Bedlam, book him in, pay like the initial amount, and then allow him to
Recuperate there,
Yeah,
and so we'll just
okay.
say that we'll provide them with enough information that he's been having psychotic episodes and has been hallucinating, and provide them with some of the detail of what he's going to say,
Okay.
So that they know to ignore what he's saying. So they would do anyway, but
Are you going to give him any rationale as to why it's happened?
It will say that he has been
dabbling in the occult.
No, no.
He's been taking. He's been taking drugs.
He's suffering from nervous exhaustion because he has been painting too much, and like many great artists, including Van Gogh, he's had a nervous breakdown, and the nature of what he's been painting has his extreme imagination has fractured his mind, and he needs bringing back to reality.
Tell them we suspect he may have been taking drugs as well, which hasn't condition.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And what about anything you're going to say? Anything about his mum? Because all the way to the cab ride to the asylum, that's all he's talking about now.
We'll say that his mother actually died some time ago, and for some reason he seems to believe that he's been hallucinating about her coming back.
Okay, righty ho. Your story seems quite feasible. So you book him in, and he actually seems he's when he's woken up, he is probably worse than he was before he went to sleep. He's just completely gibbering. We can't really understand a lot what he's saying anyway. So there's no way he would have been able to live or manage on his own. So he's definitely done the right thing. You leave the asylum, wandering back out into London. It's kind of, by the time you've done all that, it's getting on like mid-afternoon time now.
Oh, time for a late lunch.
Do you want to maybe go and drop those paintings off?
Yeah, we need to.
And the substances.
Yeah.
What are you going to
get
do
into the point where we need more than just security, safe deposit boxes.
Well, the paintings can go into a vault, can't they? That's
nothing unusual about that.
No. And the liquids and things we're not going to be able to do anything with at the moment anyway, so we should put those in as well.
Yes.
So you're going to do what? Put them in the vault?
Yeah, everything goes in the vault.
In the same vault where you put the other artifacts that you've got, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
At some point, that bank is going to fracture a gaping hole in reality.
Yes.
But yeah, that's what we'll do for now. And then whilst we were considering breaking into the Foundation, we appear to be attracting a lot of Egyptian attention. Perhaps we should address that more directly first.
Yeah, I concur. Maybe no more crimes for today.
No.
Oh.
I only said for today. There's always tomorrow.
Well, all right then, if you promise.
If you're good, you can do more crimes. We haven't done any crimes anyway. We've done something good today.
We have.
We've freed a man from torment, and we've hopefully sealed up a potential portal for alien creatures to pour forth into our reality.
It's not every day you do that, is it?
My
We've
goodness, it sounds insane if it wasn't true.
yes, and prevented further deaths and poor innocents being taken from the streets.
And got
The
some really expensive paintings as well.
the first painting, the ancient science one, had a reptilian
Yes.
humanoid in it. Was that the same creature as Bertha?
Very
They look
similar, yeah.
all at the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
Was it a science? You say it's a scientist though, rather than
Well, ancient science.
It was an alchemist lab with a reptilian humanoid dissecting another creature, and it was I think the title was Ancient Science.
right.
Actually, the alchemist lab fits with some of the strange substances as well. Doesn't it?
Well, exactly. That's what I was,
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
I suspect it's science that may be beyond me.
yeah, forbidden science. Very well. Let's
What's your plan now? So you've gone
go
to
and have some late lunch.
you've
Yeah.
gone to the you come back from the asylum. You've gone directly to the bank.
Yeah, dropped
You
everything
haven't
off.
gone back to the hotel yet, then, have you?
No, we'll go and get some
No.
lunch, and then we'll go
Okay.
back to the hotel.
Okay.
Do we
Does the watch
discuss
in the
Let's
hotel?
let's eat
what
at the
next?
hotel.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did you say, Lex?
Let's eat at the hotel.
Yep, fine. Get some room service. I'd like to maybe have a bit of a sit
Okay,
down for a bit anyway.
So you're not gonna go eat in the restaurant. You're gonna go to your rooms, are you?
Yeah, let's get room service, and then we can talk freely
Okay.
without being concerned about what people
Yeah.
can
And
hear.
keep a very, very watchful eye out for anyone hailing us as we return.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Right, you're back in the room now.
Order up.
Saturday evening, and you've ordered up some food.
So, what do
Right.
we think, gentlemen? Is
I
this?
think let's get that painting out that has got a Cleopatra smoky-eyed woman.
Yes.
How much does it look like, Zara?
I thought we put the paintings in the vault.
We did.
Oh,
We're not.
We did.
Okay.
But Stanton
From
and
your
I
memory.
Stanton and I have seen the painting,
Well,
so we've seen.
I thought
Zara.
it looked like Zara Sheffield.
Yeah, I mean, but Cleopatra-looking women is one thing. It's because it's. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of Arab women who do their makeup that way. So it doesn't mean that they're the same person. I mean, how similar were they?
Forget my line of questioning. Let's move on. We can go back to the bank and look at it. Actually, look at it.
Yeah.
Well, Stanton and I can express a view without having to do that first. But I mean, how
Okay.
similar was she?
Um,
I think we saw the picture before we met Sarah. The other way
No.
around.
Other
No,
way
I
it's
around.
saw it
around.
afterwards.
The other way around.
Yeah, you were struck by the startling resemblance to her, but again, you haven't examined. You weren't able to examine it in a huge amount of detail because you were obviously you were just looking at it in terms of whether you were going to buy it or not. Yeah, if you had to put money on it, you were struck by the fact that gosh, that really looks like Zara Shafiq. But as Douglas said, you know, obviously she has
don't know,
got
sure.
kind of stereotypical Egyptian look. However, Miles was his paintings were amazingly detailed. So yeah,
We'll look again.
That's a concern.
that's as much I can give you at the moment without having a look at it again.
What was the nature of the painting exactly?
Was that the one called the Herald? I think it showed
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
a dark stone obelisk under a night sky. It had
Egyptian
cultists,
hieroglyphs.
and cultists led by a raven-haired woman priest. There was also an inverted ankh in the picture. Particularly noticed that, given that we've come
Yes.
across that symbol several times.
Inverted ankh and a crook. There are 4 victims being foully sacrificed.
Is the inverted ankh the symbol of the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh, or is that or do we think it's something else?
Okay, that was on one of the books that we got from Erica.
I mean, it keeps popping up. We need to put a name to the symbol because the cultist who attacked me was carrying a dagger that had that symbol on it as well.
It was definitely on one of the books, but wasn't that one of the books we found in New York?
Yes.
That symbol.
Yes. And
And
that
it was
that
was the one that was property of the Penhew Foundation, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Life as a
Yeah,
God.
that's right,
It was
yeah.
on that book, poorly bound book. The one that I was reading on the ship.
And that was about the Brotherhood of the
It
Black
was.
Pharaoh, wasn't it? Yeah. It
So it's a fair assumption.
seems likely it's the symbol. I think you're right, Douglas.
Yeah, Stanton, having read the book, you're pretty much you are certain there was references to that as being the symbol of the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh. You're right.
Right. So, on that basis, then, could Sarah be part of the Black Brotherhood herself? And we've fallen into a trap of her fooling us into thinking that she's investigating when in fact she's part of it.
Yes, indeed.
Could our tales be working for her?
Well, we did provide her with a lot of information, and maybe what's in the safe, rather than being evidence that the Foundation is involved, is something that she wants for herself, for the Brotherhood.
She wants it back.
Yeah. So maybe we would be doing the cult a service by doing that. I mean, these are big leaps off the, but
So
How did
Gavigan is
Miles?
not part of the Brotherhood, but he's been investigating and he stole something from them.
yeah, he could.
How
Yeah,
did Miles know what she looked like? I mean, either he's met her, or she came to him in a vision.
yeah.
That's
he
where I
needed-
was going to wonder. Clearly done a good thing today with lots of benefits. But does it tie in?
That's what we. Yeah. Well,
Is Miles have we happened upon a lone artist who was being controlled by this lizard creature and drugged? It's completely separate from the Carlisle expedition.
no. Too
Or
many.
does-
Too many coincidences. It's. I believe they're connected in some way.
So
the
should we
the
think we're
pictures
going to
connect.
meet more of these sorts of lizard creatures?
Yes.
Maybe?
Possibly
Potentially.
the pictures connect the two. I think two of the pictures depict symbols and scenes from the Brotherhood. It was the Dark Pharaoh and the Herald that we've just been discussing. Both featured Egyptian mythology and pharaoh, a dark pharaoh and a priest, and the symbol of the Black Pharaoh.
Yeah.
But that's the only obvious.
Well, we
connection
don't.
between the
We
two.
don't know. We don't. Maybe there is a link that we haven't discovered yet, and that we won't discover. I mean, it's potentially neither here nor there, but I think it's reasonable for us to assume that they're connected because, like you said, what's the chances of us stumbling across two entirely unrelated cultist activities that share the same themes? Highly, highly unlikely. Or we're very lucky, stroke unlucky. But I think it's reasonable to assume that there are probably other lizard creatures around. But luckily, we just look for places that are quite hot. I don't think it really changes very much with regarding Sarah, though, does it? Because either way, we're not directly working with her at the moment, and whatever there is in the Foundation, we're interested in whether or not we give it to her subsequently.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it changes it, but I do think we need to approach her with a degree of caution.
Oh no, well I would be approaching with as like I said previously, we don't trust anybody other than the people in this room.
It could just be coincidence, but when Montgomery Crompton wrote about his time in Cairo and when he met the Black Pharaoh's high priest, that was at a merchant's spy ship, and it was a young woman that they sacrificed there. The merchant himself was a middle-aged man. I'm wondering if he's related to Zara.
Could be.
So what next?
Possibly
Probably.
get followed. Might be worth talking to one of those gentlemen.
I was wondering whether deliberately allowing ourselves to be followed and to a place where we can extract some information from them without being disturbed.
Yeah, we're they're of Egyptian extraction, but they're almost certainly local Londoners. They're less likely to be armed than we are.
Well, we can assume they're going to be carrying knives. I would have thought.
Yeah. Well, knife kills just as surely as a gun does, but it's harder.
Yeah, well, you maintain a degree of distance, don't you? And
Yeah.
but then we're getting into a situation where potentially we're going to end up seriously hurting somebody. Not that I have a particular issue with that if they're engaged in what we think they're engaged in, but it does put us at risk because it's going to be something that needs cleaning up. As we saw today, we were very lucky with that constable who turned up that he didn't pursue his investigation
Yeah.
too far.
We
Okay.
haven't found it easy to extract information from those involved in cults. I remember trying to get some information from one of the cultists of the Bloody Tongue. He was
Yeah, if they're not gonna talk, and intimidating them doesn't really help because what are you going to do? Threaten to kill them? And they go, great, I can now meet my god.
Yeah. Perhaps my initial thought of trying to turn the tables on them and follow them, find out where they've come from, where they're going back to. I mean, I don't necessarily think that'll teach us anything because we'll just see them go back to the
I think you go back to the club.
club,
how
or
close are
maybe
we?
they'll go back to the institute.
Yeah.
How close are we to
Foundation.
the next foray in the truck in terms of the? Was it
What's
the
the next
new moon?
New moon.
When's
Don't know
that?
when is the next new moon.
The next new moon is you are 2 weeks away from it. It's the
Oh,
25th.
Well, we could keep an eye on the Penny Foundation because maybe they'll have another visit with the truck. In the meantime, I think we could find out where else they're going with it. I mean, we may not see them again, but maybe we should just watch the foundation for a bit longer into the evening and see whether it's a regular occurrence, and then follow it from there, see where it goes.
Yeah, so
The
borrow a
fact that we're-
car and follow the truck.
Yeah.
The fact that we're being followed by presumably those associated with the Blue Pyramid Club, does that stop us from carrying out our original plan with the Penhew Foundation?
No, not at all.
We need to be more circumspect, but I don't see a reason not to go through with that.
No, I still think we should.
So we saw Egyptians in the backyard of the foundation.
Yes.
Yeah, they weren't all Egyptians.
No, they
of
weren't
them
all
were-
Egyptians. I'm just thinking that leads us to assume that Gavigan and the Blue Pyramid are all one big group.
Well, because they're using the same truck company.
So I'm puzzling through something. I'll just talk it through, see what you think here, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Zara is also part of that big group.
Mm-hmm.
Is one option.
Yeah.
Or she's true in what she says and she is against Gavigan, but she could be against Gavigan on the side of the angels or a devil herself.
Yes.
You mean an internal power struggle?
Yeah. So the Egyptians that are following us, they could be working for her. They could be working for Gavigan. Her and Gavigan might actually be best friends, and they're all working together. You see what I'm getting at? It's a puzzle. We need to somehow square that circle. How many groups are there here? Which groups are good? Which groups are not?
Well, can we assume that they're all evil? I refer you back to what you said before. The only people we can trust are ourselves. Okay. For now, we assume once we have more information, we'll know whether or not they're on the same side or actually against each other. I don't think there's anything else we can do at the moment to find out which side of the coin it is, without breaking into the foundation and finding out what's in that safe.
Yeah, I agree. Personally, I think it's one huge cult, and that she was playing us to find out what we knew, and she was just going to report back to her friend Gavigan.
Kind of what I feel like as well.
Yeah.
I have to say, I did wonder why the Egyptians were following us all of a sudden.
Well, we were attacked by that thing in the bog after we went into the club. I mean, that wasn't random. Oh. So, I mean, that happened before we met her.
But what interested we? Well, what I'm trying to get at is what is it that we've done that has brought us under their gaze, as it were? or is
Well-
it that we effectively disclosed our hand to Zara Shafiq, and that's
Well,
what's prompted
I
it?
mean,
She knows we are investigating the Blue Pyramid Club
Well,
because
what,
we told her we were.
yeah, but we were only
Where-
pointed in her direction in the first place by the dancer who says that she can be trusted. So, she said that she was helping her, and she's helping her because her boyfriend was murdered.
But if
So,
that's right, and I'm not saying it isn't, but if Zara Shafiq isn't some kind of double agent, then what else have we done to attract the interest of the Egyptians?
well,
Well,
we did join the club and sniffed around a lot.
and also if Gavigan is quite high up, as we suspect, we've been to the Foundation, asked a lot of questions. We are, I'm afraid to say it, I have said it before, an unusual group. Stand out a little bit.
Yeah, Gavigan would be. I mean, we might have been seen staking out the Penhue Foundation during the night. We don't know. I mean, we've done enough.
That's what I'm trying to establish. If we can track that back, then it gives us a line of inquiry.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
none the wiser, but
No.
but clearly we've done something somewhere that has brought us to the attention of the Egyptians.
Yeah.
And I'm not
Well,
sure. I'm not
we've
entirely sure what it is.
yeah, and I don't think we'll find that out. I think we just assumed that we asked the wrong person the right question, and they reported back. So somebody who we think's innocent isn't.
That's what I'm trying to work out.
Yeah.
What is it that because if we can work out what it is that we've done that's brought us to the attention of the Egyptians, then
I think there's a really, really strong chance that Gavigan saw through our innocent, I'm just here to study, I'm just asking academic questions, and set his men on us.
The three prime movers that we're aware of so far, and I don't know to what extent they're all connected, but we've got Gavigan, we've got El Bakir, who was said to be one of the leaders at the Blue Pyramid Club, and we've got Zara Shafiq.
We haven't seen the middle one, have we? Did we actually see here?
I think we've seen him around the club.
Okay.
But we've not. I don't think we've met him.
Right.
We were told about
just-
her by the dancer at the club.
You saw an Egyptian man with a black turban holding counsel. He was the one that he seemed to be like conducting traffic, as it were, in the club.
But allegedly, he's working for Gavigan, according to
Zara.
yeah.
I'd put money on it being Gavigan who's behind the interest we've had from the Egyptians.
I'd say that.
I'm not sure if I've said before, but I don't trust that
man. You should have
That's brand
said.
new information.
That changes everything. Okay, well, again, I don't think this changes anything. I think we just need to break into the Penhue Foundation, and we have a plan for that.
Yep, let's do it
now.
Okay.
Wait for it to get dark.
Well, by the time you've had your dinner, it has got dark. You look out the window now. The streets of London are dark. It's about 6 o'clock.
Oh, I was thinking more midnight.
I should like to put.
Although having said that,
well, from your previous reconnaissance, you know the time that everybody leaves the building.
Yeah,
so I'm assuming it'll be after.
It was locked up after 6:45.
One concern I do have is that I'm still injured. So if anything does turn nasty, I am going to have to stay a bit back. Is everybody else fit and healthy?
So have you added? You'll have another hit point because it's been another day.
Yeah. Okay.
Physically, yes, but
mentally not so much. So
suffering from some of the things we've seen in recent days.
So just to clarify, sneaking in and breaking into a safe, you're worried about how injured you are. But when you thought you might have to fight a lizard creature, you were just steaming in. Let's go.
Yeah, I had a moment when the lizard creature revealed itself that I started to question my life choices.
Yeah.
So yes, but just for reference. But it doesn't. It doesn't. You're right. It doesn't really change a whole lot for tonight. So is our plan then that we incapacitate the one in the back in the
Yeah, you've got
in the
a
yard?
you've got a kosh, haven't you?
Yeah.
I'll
You should
see
probably
what
use it.
I'll see what I can do with that. And
Yeah.
Okay, what time are you going to make your attempt on the Penhew Foundation? Or what time are you going to leave the hotel?
Midnight. I think we should leave. Oh, mind you, we're going to attract attention leaving at midnight, aren't we? We should go out and then go somewhere else. See if we get
Yeah.
followed again, and then from there go.
let's head
So
out
let's-
at 8. Head out at 8.
Yeah,
Have-
go find a pub.
Have a
Okay.
drink.
Drink some.
Whiskey.
This one's a 10 whiskey idea.
The weakest beer going,
Yeah,
and drink it slow.
yeah, and then
Okay.
yeah,
Then to the foundation and then at midnight.
yeah.
I think
And
for
also see whether we're going to see whether we're being followed as well, and if we are, we'll have to decide what to do.
Okay.
Work that out as it comes
would
up.
it be a good idea to have a getaway car after we've broken into the Penhew Foundation? We want to get out of there quickly, don't we? Should we delay
Yeah,
it
but I
another
don't know
night?
where. Well, we don't have a car. I don't know where we're going to get a
But
car
not
at this
today.
time.
You want
We
me-
could put
yeah, I
it
mean,
off a day.
what you say?
We could delay the visit for a day.
We'd have to delay 2 days 'cause it's Saturday today. You won't be to High One today or tomorrow.
Yes.
No, it is a good idea to get to a car, but then we'd need someone sitting in the car, and it's just another thing.
Mm.
That would be my concern: is that the car itself attracts attention
Yeah,
at that time of night, parked up there.
Yeah, and the weekend's probably the best time to assault the Penhew Foundation. There's probably less likely to be any of the academics around, like working late.
I don't like you using the term assault.
Infiltrate.
Stealthily infiltrate is what we're going for.
Okay, that's cool. That's your plan then. So you're heading out at 8. You're not having a getaway car, and then you're going to sit in a pub for a bit, and then you're going to head off to the foundation at 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Well, it's 11 o'clock, so that's a good place to
Okay.
finish. At least I know what you're doing next time.
Well, there you have it. The mad old lady was a lizard creature after all. Not quite sure where we're going to go from here, but at least we feel like we've achieved a little something getting rid of those paintings. Thanks for joining us. Now, a little bit of after the session. Warning. Some explicit language.
When you during the encounter with the serpent person, I forgot to ask you to roll sanity rolls, which was a bit of an oversight for me. So can I ask you to do it now, please?
I go
Not again.
bonkers now.
No, you can't go bonkers, but it's the attrition.
Nah, fine.
I
Who failed?
Yeah, failed again.
Oh, no.
That's it's a slippery slope, isn't it? The more you fail, the worse it gets.
Yeah,
the more
well, the
you
good
fail.
The good news is you only lost 1 point.
Okay.
Did
Well-
anybody else fail?
Well, Stanton succeeded rather successfully.
That was all right then.
Got
Okay.
1.
Get
Super.
sanity
So
back for that.
yes, a 6 whiskey plan where he said, you know what?
No, it means that you found it
Had an idea.
strangely arousing.
Yeah. What
Makes it
the
life affirming that there are.
Yes.
that's why you didn't do any fighting during that particular encounter, because you had a semi on.
But he was trying to rugby tackle a mad artist.
Oh, was that what did it?
Yeah.
Dear. Anyway, there you go. So
Okay.
the only time that Lex actually misses is when he needs to miss, which is pretty useful there. Really.
Bloody hell, it's quite scary being on the receiving end of those haymakers.
Yeah. That didn't look good.
Yeah. When I roll a 90 and it's a hit, you're like,
Yeah,
that's
oh
not good.
no.
Mm.
It's okay. It's only 1d3 plus 1d6.
I want to see what happens to you if you roll 100. What does a malfunction look like?
Ooh.
I punched myself in the dick.
Yeah, it's a fumble. Yeah.
Oh, he fumbled. Oh. Back onto Stanton.
Oh dear. Yes. Yeah. Good. We did a good. So
session,
you'll
that.
think.
Yeah.
So I sat there at the end of the last session, thinking to myself, they've actually fucking nailed it. They're actually spot on with this theory, and you were like, oh, this is mad. And actually, when you first started talking about it and thinking it was completely mad, I was like, it's not mad. It's actually right.
What's happening?
I can say, guys, I texted Aaron earlier and I said, this is, because obviously I've done a fair bit of DMing, I know this is DM gold, where you are pissing yourself laughing either way. Either we're spot on right and he's pissing himself laughing, or we're fucking idiots and we're miles out, in which case he's pissing himself laughing.
Yeah, no. I actually thought at one point you were going to talk yourself out of it, and then, but it was that's why I really enjoyed the conversation. Seriously, in fact, you were so convinced. At no point during the interaction with Bertha did you even ever, for 1 second, think, do you know what, we might have got this wrong.
Oh, I did.
The
sweet old lady routine was starting to get to me at one point.
The little baleful eyes as she looked up at us, and I did briefly think, and I thought, nah, shit'll bust.
That's all from us. See you next week on Steady Rolling Man Presents The Masks on Nyarlathotep.